Eh bien, écoutez, Nisrine, on va y aller. Chers collègues, mesdames, messieurs, dear friends, so once again, there is interpretation English, French, and Spanish. So please choose your language at the bottom of your screen, so you will be able to understand perfectly what we are going to say. Donc, il y a une interprétation simultanée en français, en anglais et en espagnol. Choisissez votre langue préférée en bas de la page. Donc, chers collègues, pour ceux qui ne me connaissent pas, je suis Cyril Noirtin, je suis le
Dear colleagues, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cyril Noirtin. I'm the Rotary representative. By UNESCO, Rotary is a member of the Liaison Committee, and it's my pleasure to moderate this session today. And in that capacity, I'm delighted to welcome you for this online workshop where we're going to prepare for the next international forum. Our meeting is on a topic that is absolutely essential, greening education partnership and how our organizations can make an active contribution. This forum falls within the framework of the international fora that are organized by UNESCO in close cooperation with the UNESCO Secretariat. In compliance with the directives that are the framework for partnerships within NGOs and UNESCO. This partnership is absolutely essential so that the voice of civil society can be heard with consistency with the priorities of UNESCO. So education is not only the way we pass on knowledge, but it's also something we can leverage to transform our societies, build trust for the future of the environment, and make the future generations climate ready. This is within this framework that we're going to reflect together to decide how our NGOs can actually work within the partnership with UNESCO so as to work towards more inclusive, more sustainable societies. This workshop today is important because it will make it possible for us to share ideas and to really use the creativity of each and every one of us. We're going to look at avenues we can explore, but also pave the way for a strong contribution of civil society in this forum. So I hope we can have an open, constructive discussion, and your projects, your suggestions will be absolutely instrumental for the future of this forum. Thanks again for your presence and for your commitment. And let's start without further ado, and I'll give the floor to our president of the International Conference of NGOs and the Liaison Committee, Svetlana, over to you.
Thank you very much, Cyril, dear colleague.
Comme on le dit
official
souvent,
partnership with UNESCO, who are all greeting you. We just had been part of a panel dedicated to education and culture. I hope you can hear me well enough. Yes. As Cyril said, and I would like to underline and repeat, your contribution to this conversation is essential for creating the outlines of the forum, the first forum of the mandate of the NGO Liaison Committee chosen in December last year. And as you probably know, during the presentation of our program of work for these 2 years, education stands very bright in the priorities that we have. I would like to wish you all a very fruitful conversation today and to let you know that this meeting is being recorded, and I will thank our interpreters today who are making it possible for everyone to understand in English, French, and Spanish conversation that we'll be having. And just to let you know that we will be uploading this meeting on our social channels. so that everyone who are not able to attend today's meeting to be able to hear the constructive conversation that we had. And with no further ado, I would like to give the floor back to my colleagues in order to present the way that we'll be having the conversation today. Thank you, and have a very fruitful conversation about greening education, and good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, and enjoy the rest of Mondiacult conference. We are very proud that you and Davide can represent the Liaisons Committee to this very important event. Et maintenant, je vais laisser la parole à
I'm now going to
Nisrine.
give the floor to Nisrine. She's the secretary of the Liaison Committee. She's also the vice president for, and the co-president, sorry, for the organization of this forum. And she is also the representing here the Moroccan Foundation for the Promotion of Preschool Teaching. Nisrine, over to you. Thank you very much, Cyril. I'm delighted to see you all here, and I'm very happy to see that there are so many of us joining this brainstorming session. So just give me a second so I can share my screen so that I can tell you a little bit more about the details of this forum and how we propose to organize it. Can you see my screen? So I'm going to try and shift to full screen mode, says Nisrine. So as Cyril very well put, as well as Svetlomira, we wanted to share this time with you all, and first and foremost, make it possible for all to contribute to this 18th International Forum, which is about the Greening Education Partnership. I will present in French, but the slides are in English and there is simultaneous interpreting. So, and thanks to the interpreters, thank you, Nisrine. So, quick reminder of the Greening Education Partnership, which is a global initiative that was launched by UNESCO in 2022. And the objective of this initiative is to transform education systems by integrating sustainable development and climate action at all levels of learning. This initiative brings together, or aims at bringing together, a number of stakeholders: governments, NGOs, civil society, foundations, the private sector, schools, and academia, so that all can take an active participation in serving this important cause. The partnership is structured around 4 main pillars. First, it's the integration of sustainability into curricula and learning. The second pillar is about strengthening the capacities of teachers and educators. The third is about green transition of schools and educational institutions. And the fourth pillar is about boosting, stimulating the active mobilization of students and local communities. So, of course, NGOs have a role to play in this. And as you can see on the screen, first and foremost, the role of NGOs is to build bridges between public policies and local communities. As NGOs, we are close to local communities, which is why we have an important role to play. And we also have flexibility to work on different projects and innovations. It can be in developing digital tools, how we can also highlight experience-based learning. We are in the field, which means that we can take part in all actions that take place in schools or on campuses. And we also have a role to play to help with inclusion, help with integrating marginalized populations, refugees, girls, indigenous peoples, and people who live in remote rural areas. And we can do this because we are so close to local communities. We are in local communities. We can also foster knowledge exchange and stronger collaborations between NGOs that work across different fields. We also can help with collaboration across sectors because we are able to pool expertise from NGOs working in different fields. And finally, we have an advocacy role. We can contribute to the conversation and promoting education system, whether nationally or internationally. So you see that the role of NGOs can be really important with regards to different types of actions. And as Svetlomira reminded us, this forum fits in the continuity with what's been done by the Liaison Committee before, but also draws inspiration from guidelines and recommendations from the last international conference that recommended working on this topic and organizing this forum. So the Liaison Committee, in cooperation with the Unit for Civil Society Partnerships, and also in close cooperation with UNESCO Education Sector. So we're organizing the 18th International Forum of NGOs in official partnership with UNESCO on the Greening Education Partnership. This forum will be organized in late November, early December. So as soon as we have the date, we'll make sure to let you know. It will be a webinar, and to make it easier for all to take part, bearing in mind that we come from different parts of the world, there will be 2 half days in the afternoon. So that's in the afternoon if we take Paris local time as a point of reference. But of course, because of time difference, it will be at different times of the day. But the idea is to select this time slot so that as many of you as possible can take place. A new feature in this webinar, and this is something we had discussed with you when we had presented the program, the work program of the Liaison Committee, is to organize a number of side events so that we can hear about more experiences. These side events will be organized by NGOs that are members of the Liaison Committee, and we hope there can be several side events before and after the webinar, so as to really promote this topic that we deem to be very important indeed. The forum bearing in mind that all these themes are so important and impact a number of stakeholders, well, the forum aims to really highlight and help organize the contributions of NGOs in topics such as the training of teachers and educators in climate education. Also, apologies, says Nisrin, producing educational resources that can be well adapted to local contexts, also helping with the development of environmentally responsible programs in schools and on campuses, boost climate justice and inclusion of vulnerable groups, help with a fair transition and boosting of skills for green jobs, the use of digital tools to enhance dissemination and cooperation, and monitoring and evaluation of national and international commitments. So the point here is that together with you, we can possibly identify other topics and other possible contributions. This list is not exhaustive, you see. It's just to really help us start to brainstorm. So, as Cyril mentioned in his introductory words, this is really meant to be a brainstorming session. This is really dedicated to listening to you so that you can help us identify priority topics that should be highlighted during the forum, that you can help us collect really exemplary experiences and initiatives to be shared during the forum, and also, with your help, facilitate the process of selection of representatives that will be sitting on the steering committee. A quick word about the steering committee. The steering committee will help coordinate with the program sector, will help prepare the program of the webinar. Its role will also be to identify speakers. And to that end, we will select NGOs that have experience in this very important field. And will also, of course, take into consideration regional representation. Cyril will come back to this very important point. I thank you for your attention. And of course, we are available for any questions that you may have. Thank you. Cyril, over to you. Thank you. Thank you, Nesrine, for this excellent presentation and for this very good summary, I think, of the topic at hand and of the exchanges that we've already had with our colleagues in the working in the education sector in UNESCO. So now the floor is yours, dear colleagues from NGOs in official partnership with UNESCO. So as always, you know that you can click on raise hand to be given the floor. And when you do, we will give you the floor so you can share your experience. I can see that Jonas would like to take the floor. Over to you, Jonas. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, dear Cyril. The presentation was very eloquent. I am based in Goma in DRC. I'm an executive director of the entity representing daily in DRC. I think this discussion is very important that we're having today, preparing for the forum. But I think also that questions related to conflict zones, these conflicts have an impact on education, and we should talk about that. Talking about DRCs and the number of schools that have been under attack, the number of children that have to drop out of schools because of armed conflicts, schools that have to be closed. Of course, we try to do our best locally, nationally, in our advocacy work to try to get these schools to reopen, make sure that children do not stay out of the education system, but can go back to school. So I think this should be discussed in this forum, because this has impacted thousands of children. But there's also the aspect of the location of help. Rotary is an international organization, but in DRC, for example, as a national organization, we really have capacities to act in the field, and we don't know how to become a full partner of UNESCO. Why don't we discuss our presence in the field so that Rotary, UNESCO, and other organizations can benefit from our experience? Because we have experience that we'd like to share during this forum that is being prepared. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jonas. Thank you for your contribution. Just a comment. whether it be education or the environment and sustainable development, those are such broad subjects, you know, and it won't be possible to tackle all these topics in one forum, which is why we've really centered it on greening education partnership. This will be our main topic, which is not to say that the other topics are not very important, but it is this topic that we'll try and develop during these couple of days. I will now give the floor to Ms. Gries. Can you hear me? Yes, we hear you loud and clear. Thank you. Hello, Cyril. Hello, Nesrine. I just wanted us not to forget about women, women that are that we are helping with gaining literacy in the rural areas, and they are absolute pillars for for farming. And for example, they collect water and they bring their little girls with them. They don't go to school when they go with their mothers, but they also educate the members of their families to farming. And in literacy classes for adults, since we're talking about education, let's not forget that education is really a lifelong process. So if children were to learn about sustainable development and green farming practices at school and did something completely different, growing carrots or cauliflowers with their mother, then it would be, you know, a bit of a missed opportunity. So I think we have to talk about literacy classes for adult women and the training of teenagers that are probably going to become farmers when they're adults. Thank you. Petro, over to you. Gilles Petro. Yes, hello. I'm Gilles Petro. I represent here the World Organization for Preschool Teaching, which is present in 80 countries at the moment. So our organization has looked into sustainable development for a long time, since 2008. And of course, it's very important to keep working at it. The reason why you decided to prioritize this topic for the forum is because it's an emergency. There's a lot of work to be done about sustainable development through the education of young generations. So our organization has worked a lot trying to help with education in sustainable development in schools, with awards and grants for young researchers or sites or schools that boast a very positive experience. So there's a lot of work. I'm thinking also of the development of an application for the children from 0 to 8 years old. It's very important to pass on this knowledge and this emphasis to the youth, to the young generation. So our organization would like to really offer to you all our network, because in all the countries where we are present, they take different shapes and forms. You see, the contexts vary, situations vary. I'm thinking of displaced people as well. It's a question that we actually hear a lot about. A lot of people escalate it to us. And as part of the French-speaking commission within OMEP, we also work a lot on these displaced people. So we try to raise awareness amongst children, and I think we have a lot to contribute in terms of insights and food for reflection, as well as experience to you on the question of sustainable development and the rights of children, because the respect of the rights of children is very important for us, and that goes through education. Thank you very much, Gilles. Of course, your contribution is very welcome, and thanks in advance for your contribution. I'm now going to give the floor to Martine Lévy. Martine, hello. The floor is yours. Can you hear me? Yes, of course, loud and clear. Hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Cyril. I'd like to pick up on what has just been said, and what Nisrin said in particular. I see that we said something about girls. If the forum focuses on green education and girls who don't go to school, they are our main concern. So really share all these reflections with the 6 countries of French-speaking Africa that we work with. So we'd like to make that contribution. Thank you. Thank you, Martine. Now I'm going to give the floor to Annie Leonila, and apologies if we mispronounce your name. Arnie, over to you.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for the presentation. So I'm speaking on behalf of CCIVS, the Coordinating Committee for International Voluntary Service, and also I'm a part of the youth working group of the NGO-UNESCO Liaison Committee. So first things first, I would like to inform about what our organization is working on. So our organization is umbrella organization, which our members mobilize volunteers globally to link climate education, community action, and intercultural learning. So we think that volunteering is a powerful medium, that it turns abstract sustainability goals into hands-on, contextually rooted learning experiences. And this learning by doing approach enhances the 4 pillars that you already presented previously of the Greening Education Partnership. And we also wish to highlight 2 of our campaigns. The first one is the Living Earth campaign. This is our campaign that promotes environmental stewardship, climate education, and community-driven sustainability projects. And then another one, which is the recent one that we just started this year, is the Voices for Change. This is very, very awesome campaign or project that is youth-centered campaign that amplifies youth voices in climate justice and transformation, as well as we also use this decolonized approach in this campaign and project. So we also would like to intend to feature the Voices for Change songs, because through this project we created a song together with the young people all around the world, with our partners during the forum, if it's possible, as a form of creative, symbolic expression of the youth engagement. And another one is to also use the Living Earth as a framework for mobilizing volunteers and projects that align education with climate action. And another proposal that I would like to propose is, if it's already open to join the forum steering committee, we would like to propose our director, Vicky, to be our representative, to be involved in that steering committee. Thank you very much. And we are looking forward to collaborating with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we would be very happy to help you participate. And Vicky knows very well how fora are organized, because she's organized fora in the past. Maria Paula Asario, over to you.
Good afternoon from the International Mediterranean Women's. Can you hear me?
Oui, oui.
Together with the Club for UNESCO in Turin, in collaboration with it, we realize several programs for in particular relating to greening education during 2024 to 2025, realized program for schools. devoted to
Maria,
students
Maria,
and teachers.
excusez-moi de vous interrompre. On vous entend.
Maria, apologies. We really can't hear you very well, and interpreters are having a hard time hearing. Could you maybe use a microphone or a headset with a microphone, or check your connection? Maria,
Can you hear me?
Alors, on vous entend, on vous entend.
Yes, I have the French translation, so okay.
Allez-y, exprimez-vous et on va essayer de poursuivre.
Go ahead and we'll try and see if we can hear you.
No, se tolgo la cosa, perché al ritorno non capisco niente. Comunque, good afternoon from the International Mediterranean Women's Forum. In collaboration with the Club for UNESCO in Turin, carried out a program focused on sustainable development. Concerning greening education, we developed during last year, 2024-2025, a program for school entitled UNESCO Natural Heritage, MAB Zones and Geoparks, an answer to climate change and biodiversity loss, in which 6,000 students and teachers took part. It was composed of 4 training meetings for teachers with experts who dealt with specific themes related to the topic of the training program. Afterwards, students work in their classrooms, and in May, they presented their works in a plenary session. We will continue our commitment for greening education also for next school year in 2025-2026 with a new training program entitled Towards Sustainable Development, Challenges and Opportunities for Current and Future Generations. These programs are also in collaboration with the program of the Italian National Commission devoted to sustainable development and greening education. So we hope that our program could be selected in order to explain it in more details and also to show you the results of our program. We also have a publication who presents the outcomes and results of this program. Thank you for your attention.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Maria. I'm now going to give the floor to Melissa Flores.
Hello, can you hear me? Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you all for this webinar for brainstorming our ideas. Thank you for the presentation and all the contributions that you did. So I want to say that for our NGO, it is really important, this topic, and we are willing to collaborate either for the program or experts. I will for sure like make understood for them the importance of this forum and try to understand who is going to be willing to give time for it. And then we'll come back to you for sure and send in the proposal for the steering committee. I just noticed something about the presentation. I wanted to ask you something because there is I understand that in the program, we have an objective very specific for this partnership, and then there are the specific stakeholders. But for the highlights and structure of the contributions of the NGOs, the themes are very varied. So I wanted to ask if there is a specific public you want to focus this forum, because it's very different to talk to primary institutions, high schools, universities, associations at large. So just what were your thoughts when you were thinking about these themes in order for us to make it simple for thinking about and brainstorming? Thank you so much for the time. Oh, and I'm talking on behalf of New Humanity NGO. I'm sorry. I haven't said before. Thank you.
Merci, merci, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa. Well, this is really about brainstorming today. So it's early days and we're not excluding anything. It will be up to the steering committee to make choices and decide on which trade-offs so that the forum can be as interesting and effective as possible. Rémi Loison, over to you. You have the floor. Yes, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the floor. It's a bit complicated because we can hear ourselves at the same time. So I'll try and be brief. I'm Rémi Loison from the European Federation of Schools, so Federation for European Education. We'd like to really express our interest in taking part in the steering committee. The FIDI is a service provider with teaching tools, and we created a module, companies and green transition, and this is being taught since September 2023 in schools. Apologies, says the speaker. I have feedback and I hear myself. We've also taken part in the youth forum. So I just wanted to let you know that we'd very much like to help you by sitting on the steering committee and helping with the preparation of the forum. Thank you, Rémi. I'm now going to give the floor to Caitlin. I don't have your last name, but I give you the floor. Yes, hello. We can't hear you anymore. Well, we'll try and give you the floor later on. So feel free to raise your hand again and I'll give you the floor again. Karen, the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Karen Mouliet from Malta, but I am here representing the International Federation for Home Economics. And thank you for asking us to join. And I am sure that a representative from the IFHE would be very positive, give very positive input in the steering committee and thereafter, because home economics can be a driver for sustainability. I think one of the things that we need to discuss most is how to enable education for sustainable living, or greening education, so to speak, in our schools and in the families, so that, you know, sort of everybody would be everybody is entitled and everybody is getting education for sustainable living. And I feel very strongly that education, home economics education, equips learners with practical skills in sustainable living. So it would be the right medium, so to speak, one of, obviously, because there are many NGOs and many possible ways that can give this kind of greening education. But my point here is that we really need to discuss the how. How would one reach schools? How would one reach the families? And how would one reach communities? You know, in terms of policy and curriculum integration, home economics offers a framework for embedding the Sustainable Development Goals, especially, for example, Sustainable Development Goal 12, responsible consumption. We have just had our World Home Economics Day on the 21st of March, which was precisely on overconsumption. So these are things which in home economics we have we have been doing for many, many years, and we have been working in schools for many, many years, and so can create a lot of green skills pathways, so to speak, in nutrition, food services, eco-design, sustainable consumption, etc. So that is something to keep in mind. Home economics as a medium, but also the how to actually infiltrate in schools.
Thank you very much. I'm going to give the floor to Kathleen. I hope we can hear you.
Oui.
Perfect. Mon nom est, je m'appelle Kathleen. I'm from the SUI test. We are actually members of the Greening Education Partnership since its very beginning. I'm also a member of the Higher Education Working Group of the Greening Education Pillar 1, which with regards to greening schools. I think the Greening Education Partnership has existed since 2022. We have developed a whole series of resources, partnerships, and networks with regards to each of the specific pillars. I think we are remiss also not to mention that the overall goal of the JEP is to have 50% of all schools, colleges, universities have a green accreditation and operate sustainability. UNESCO is tracking country-level indicators with regards to adoption of greening education principles. We have standards for greening schools. We're developing standards for greening communities, greening buildings in the MENA region. We're developing training of the trainers with workshops with regards to ensuring green education is delivered across the world, teacher education, curriculum. So yeah, I think number one, we should definitely share the resources with the members of the other UNESCO NGOs. I'm 100% sure that UNESCO NGOs also have many, many resources that can contribute and feed into the resources that are available. And I think with regards to the conversation that we've had so far, there's a huge opportunity to engage with the Greening Education Partnership members. There seems to be a little bit of a silo because it doesn't sound like our NGOs are necessarily working with the greening education partners in the regions. So I think there's a huge capacity building opportunity for the GEP members in each area to work with the NGOs in their area to augment implementation of the standards of the resources and share in order to accelerate our capacity to deliver on the JEP implementation. And of course, SULI Test has been working in sustainability since Rio Plus 20. We are a tangible contribution to the UN Higher Education Sustainability Initiative. We also co-chair. So of course, we'd be very happy to help join the steering committee or contribute in any way as a member of GEP and as a member of the UNESCO ONG. Merci.
Effectivement, j'avais coupé mon micro, excusez-moi. Donc, merci.
Thank you very much, Kathleen, for your insight and for your suggestion. Oleg, over to you. Thank you, dear colleagues, and hello. Let me take the liberty of speaking on behalf of the international organizations of teachers in the secondary and in higher education, but I wear several hats because I'm the head of the National Teaching Commission working with the Education Ministry in France. And the ministry has asked us to change national curricula and also a number of fact sheets and by integrating green transition and digital transition and AI notably. So there is no unanimity amongst colleagues because the ministry is asking us to integrate this into the curricula without giving us resources to do so. So either teachers have to use the pre-existing resources and just adding a little bit on top to really reflect the importance of the green transition, or they have to find and develop resources of their own without getting extra pay, of course. So we have worked on a new list of green competencies, but of course, our colleagues, whether in universities, for example, can discuss it. They can give their insights and their opinion. So since this is a brainstorming meeting, the integration of these elements should be also directly connected with the revision of the recommendations on the 1966 recommendation on and the condition of educators in 97, so that it can be fully integrated in the reality of teachers and researchers' work, so that they can get a decent pay, and which also is in line with the financing of education. I know that there has already been a connection made during the conference in Seville. And the revision of the recommendations 43-C that includes the work of teachers on green transition and on digital transition. So I apologize for being a bit long, but I wanted to tell you that I try to have the voice of NGOs and UNESCO heard by the ministry. Well, thank you, and congratulations for this appointment. We'll have to celebrate that. I'm now going to give the floor to Gabrielle Dretta. Yes, hello, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Would like to thank you for giving me the floor. I speak on behalf of the AUF, which is the University Alliance for French-speaking Community. So we have been a member of the Liaison Committee for years, and we're also members of the Youth Committee. So I want to thank the other organizations for what they've said, and we would also like to offer our participation in the steering committee and the participation in this forum. I wanted to emphasize our work on green education during our ministerial week and science week last year. Several students coming from all over the world have co-written a call for action advocating for the schools of the future. So 60 students coming from many different countries. And one of the 5 topics was the question of schools and green transformation. And they came up with 6 clear proposals for higher education institutions and ministries to adapt curricula and infrastructures to the needs of green transition. To give you some idea of the political impact that it's had, it was made public during the ministerial conference in Toulouse with French-speaking ministries. the research minister from France, and working with UNESCO. So I think the forthcoming forum would be a very good opportunity to present this initiative more in details and be able to discuss with other NGOs these partnership for green partnership. The AUF is the largest higher education alliance in the world. We have over 1,000 members around the world in 120 countries. Not only French-speaking countries, as it happens. I thank you for giving me the floor, and I hope we'll get a chance to cooperate with you in the organization of this forum. Thank you, Gabriele. We are delighted to hear that the AUF wants to participate. So we have about 10 minutes left. And there are several people who've been asking to be given the floor. So be brief, please. Patrick, over to you.
Yeah, thank you for this brainstorming session. So this is Patrick Paul Walsh from Sustainable Development Solutions Network. I'm director of the SDG Academy. So just a few points. I just want to go back to one of the first comments by a lady from DRC. And I do think, you know, the greening school, the greening of education partnership is very good and very holistic. And it's quite right to focus on the estate or schools or curriculum or teachers or the whole system or the communities involved. But we have to be clear that in Africa and a lot of places on low income, that these, let's say, capabilities are not in place in the first place. So what are we greening, right? So in some ways we have to, given that Africa is a cross-cutting issue, and I love the themes that are being proposed for the forum, I do think if we gave special attention to Africa and say, well, you know, from ground zero, if we're building up teachers or curriculum or different approaches, maybe using IT or the digital transformation, that how would you incorporate greening from, you know, from a new build, if you want to call it, rather than taking existing assets and trying to green them ex post, right? So in other words, to think about how you do it ex ante. So that's just one issue. So I'd love to see Africa as a team and to say, well, how can we do this partnership, but look at the very idiosyncratic features of particularly countries and very, like, people in very low income situations. The second thing is, I get the feeling from the website that when we think of greening, it's very climate orientated, you know, adaptation, mitigation. And I'd obviously love to see a very holistic view of nature, like in terms of, let's say, biodiversity or all aspects, clean water, all aspects of nature. And then finally, Isabella obviously is on, SDSN is on the Liaison group. And we'd like to be on the steering group as well. And Isabella be very, very well placed as your communications person to be on that. But obviously, we're just offering that. So it's up to the steering group to decide what the constituencies are. Anyway, there are 3 points. Thank you for the opportunity. And today, thank you for today as well.
Thank you, Patrick, for your contribution. So 3 people have asked to be given the floor. I unfortunately won't be able to give the floor to other people. Isha, the floor is yours.
Hello everyone, am I audible? Yeah, so I'm delighted to be here today representing the World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises, an international organization based in India that works to empower MSME through policy, advocacy, and capacity building and financial inclusion. So as a finance officer and a youth committee member, my focus is on how finance can act as a bridge between climate education and real-world action. So when we talk about greening education, we often focus on curriculum, teacher training, and awareness. Totally, these are crucial, but one vital piece which I feel is often missing is financing. Without financial support, many promising ideas are born in classrooms and never translate into impactful projects. So, the proposal here is to create dedicated green finance mechanisms such as micro grants or seed funds that could help school based green startup, renewable energy initiatives, or even circular economic solutions. So, by linking climate education with entrepreneurship, we not only build awareness but also open pathways to green jobs and sustainable businesses. So I believe that it should be measured not only by how many students are educated but also how many ideas grow into impactful ventures. So through innovative financing and partnerships, we can create a future where every learner is empowered to act, transforming knowledge into sustainable change. Thank you.
Thank you, Isha. I'm now going to give the floor to Marie-Odile Payen. Marie-Odile, unmute your mic. As we wait for Marie-Odile, I'm going to give the floor to Gérard Lechêne, and we'll come back to Marie-Odile right afterwards. Gérard, the floor is yours. Gérard, you need to turn your mic on, otherwise we can't hear you. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me? Yes. I'm the head of VEDAFRIC, which is about cultural exchanges between Canada, Quebec, and Africa and the Caribbean. So to be brief, what we'd like to offer is that we have a series of we have a list of films on sustainable development, on the questions of the environment and sustainable development that we'd like to make available to everybody who's interested. So get in touch with VEDAFRIC and with me, and we can make all these films on sustainable development to you. One last thing, there's an animated film that was made by the National Film Office in Canada by Frédéric Bas, who is, that is adapted from a Jean Giono novel, The Man Who Planted Trees, and we have this animated feature film. If it's of interest to anybody, please get in touch. Brigitte Marais, over to you. Yes, hello. Brigitte Marais from Make Mothers Matter. I wanted to share with you a testimony from one of our members, the Vivencian Foundation, because I think green education is one thing, but we have to go even further. After 2030, the biggest challenge that education will face is quick and inclusive adaptation to deep transformation in in labor and society within a context of big changes in demography, in the economy. So we'll have to develop amongst learners critical eye, literacy in digital economy. We'll have to develop their resilience and also include that in our curricula, because these young people will have to learn to live in a world that has been shaped by climate change, climate crisis. So I wanted to share that with you, and I wanted to tell you about a concept note that we sent out, which is the joint work of 15 NGOs that we've sent to the Liaison Committee. It's about creating the conditions of a transformative education through creativity, inclusion, imagination at the heart of learning. So the objective was to really forge a dialogue so as to work towards a more creative, inclusive, and sustainable education. So targeted participants were NGOs, young people, girls, educators, artists, decision makers, international organizations, and the private sector. So the objective is to have a participatory forum, online or hybrid, with thematic sessions and dialogues between generations and between cultures. So that was a proposal to try and be in line with with lever 4, inclusion, youth participation, and peace culture, and also the recommendations from the International Conference of NGOs in 2022. Thank you. This is the end of our session. So first and foremost, big thanks to all of you who've taken the floor. Sincere apologies to those of you who couldn't speak, but unfortunately this is the time we had. Quick word about the next steps. We're going to look into your proposals and ideas. We'll email you very soon. For those of you who would be interested in joining the steering committee, depending on how many candidates we have, unfortunately, we won't be able to welcome everybody. We, of course, will prioritize diversity and geographical representation. But rest assured that even if you do not sit on the steering committee, we'll find ways to include you so that you can take an active participation. Before wrapping up, thank you to the interpreters. We talk about inclusion, but making it possible for everybody to take part is very important so that all NGOs can make a contribution. So thank you to the interpreters. Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure. As you will have gathered, this forum on greening education is very important to us because we do believe, same as you, that to tackle the challenges of climate change, we have to really work together to fight climate change and promote sustainable development by including all your creativity and commitment. Thank you very much to Nisrin for helping me organize this session. Thank you very much to my colleagues from the Liaison Committee. Enjoy the rest of the day and see you very soon. Thank you, Cyril. It was a pleasure. See you all very soon. It was great to see you all, and I can't wait to work with all of you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, Nisrin. I hope you can hear me. I just wanted to say that it was such a productive meeting, and thank you all to you and to Cyril to make it possible, and to the interpreters. It was great to hear all the contribution, and we'll get in touch very soon. I will see you tomorrow. Absolutely. So thank you, Nisrin.
I share, yes, I have the same feeling. It was really nice to have all these contributions. I think it's going to be a very nice forum.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Bye.
See you soon.
Yes, very soon.
Bye.
Bye, Cyril. Bye-bye. Super.